Okay, so today we are going to be looking at special triangles, some exact values for trig ratios you would need to memorize, and the unit circle. So first let's look at some exact values. So we have these special triangles. One of them has angles 30 degrees, 60 and 90. So in that one, in the hypotenuse, if the hypotenuse is 1, then this side will be half and this side will be √3/2. And over here, similarly, if you have a triangle which has angles 45 degrees, 45 and 90, and if the hypotenuse is 1, then this and this will be the same as √2/2. And from these triangles, the values in this table are determined. So for example, let's find the sine theta. Let's find sine 30 degrees. So sine 30 degrees will be opposite half over hypotenuse 1. So this is half. As you can see, sine 30 is half. So similarly, they determine all of these. Now, you also need to memorize the ratios for 0 and 90. So let's see how they get those measurements. For example, let's say this is 0 degrees. It's not actually 0 degrees, but to show you how they get it, those ratios. So, for example, so this is 0 degrees. That means the height is 0 and the length is 1. As you can see here, the length is 1, and this so-called hypotenuse is also 1 because that is the radius. Now if we want to find sine theta, it will be sine 0 degrees is the opposite over hypotenuse 1, which is 0 degrees. Now if we want cos theta, 0 degrees, it will be adjacent over hypotenuse 1. Now tan theta, it will be the opposite over adjacent 1. This is also 0. Now similarly, if we have this, if we say this is 90 degrees, so this is 90 degrees, and as you can see, the height will be 1, which is the same as the radius, and the radius is 1 as well, and the length is 0. And if we try to find the ratios, sine 90 will be opposite 1 over the hypotenuse 1, which is 1, and the cos 90 degrees will be adjacent 0 over hypotenuse 1, which is 0, and tan 90 degrees will be the opposite over the adjacent 0. And remember that anything over 0 is undefined. So this is how to get the ratios inside this table. Now let's look at something called the unit circle. So the unit circle is basically a circle with the radius as 1, and for the equation for this circle is x squared plus y squared equals 1. But the general equation for any circle in which the center is at 0, 0 is at the origin is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. R is the radius. Now let's do a simple example. Let's say we have this point A, which is at coordinate x and root 5 over 5. Now let's try finding x. So to find x, using the equation x squared plus y squared equals r squared, we know that x is just x, y is root 5 over 5 squared equals the radius, and it's also given that it lies on a unit circle. So if it's a unit circle, then the radius will be 1. The radius is 1. So 1 squared, that's let's be 1. So when you simplify this, x squared plus 5 over 25 is 1. And now when you isolate for x, you get plus or minus root 1 minus 5 over 25. Yes, so 5 over 25, so that'll get simplified to 1 over 5. So x is plus or minus root 1 minus 1 over 5. So this is plus or minus, I'll take it down. So x is plus or minus root 4 over 5. Simplify this further, you get plus or minus, or I can show step by step. So plus or minus, the root of 4 is 2 over root 5, and to rationalize the denominator, so multiply both by root 5, the denominator and the numerator, and you should get plus or minus 2 root 5 over 5. Now it is also given that the point A lies in quadrant 2. So that means this lies over here. So since it lies over here, it means that x is negative and y is positive. So x needs to be negative. So that means since x is negative, x needs to be negative 2 root 5 over 5. That's x. Now let's find tan theta. tan theta is the opposite y over the adjacent x. Y is root 5 over 5 and x we found out to be negative 2 root 5 over 5. And when you simplify this, or I'll show step by step, 5 over 5 times negative 5 over 2 root 5. So I'm just dividing this by this, right? And then taking the reciprocal of this whole. And then I get this. Now when you simplify this, 5 over 5 2. So you can just cancel these and these. So that means tan theta is negative 1 over 2. Now let's find theta in to the nearest tenth in radians when 0 is less than or equal to theta, which is less than or equal to 2 pi. So we know that tan theta is negative 1 over 2. And to find theta, we go theta equals tan arctan of negative 1 over 2. This just gives you the reference angle. The reference angle is 26.565 degrees. This is just a reference angle. So we know that this is the reference angle and this is the theta which we need. So to find the theta, we need to subtract the reference angle from 180. Subtract it from 180. So theta equals 180 degrees minus 26.565 degrees. You get 153.435 degrees. Now we want to convert it to radians, so times pi over 180 degrees. And since I wanted the nearest tenth, which is the nearest tenth decimal, we need to use the pi in calculation. So when we put this entire thing in the calculator, we get 2.7 for the nearest tenth. So this is the answer to this one. And that's it. Thank you.